ZL Entertainment. Greetings, boys and girls. I'm Dion from ZL Entertainment, and today we're here for some, this is the first hour and a half that I have ever played of this game here, Cities Skylines. So, the interesting thing with this is that, I tried playing this many times. First of all, I've had this game, I'm not sure, I looked at my Steam to see when I first got it, and you know, when you first play a game, it'll be like, oh, you just played the game for the first time. But I couldn't find that. Maybe it's not there for every game. Either way, I had this game at least since 2020. And it said I had played for 17 hours, but I didn't. I think Steam says that you've I think it counts the hours it downloaded, which doesn't make sense, but I think that's what I've heard. But either way, every time I've tried playing this game, like I've tried playing it many times, but I never really knew what to do, which is weird because I played SimCity 4 and I wasn't the greatest at it, but I knew the basics, but I could never get this working. I think I just ended up putting roads down because that's pretty much my favorite part, is trying to put roads down and making it look neat and orderly and fun. And also I also like doing the wacky roads that are more on the creative side as well. But yeah, this is the first time I actually sat down to play the game itself. With actual, like, none of the mods that it comes with. Just straight up the game. Because I figure, like, I need to figure out how to play the game before I can have all the fun with all those little mod things. So I played this last night before I went to bed. For me, I'll be uploading this Saturday. So I'm doing the audio today on Thursday, and I'll have it uploaded a few days later on Saturday. And 2 days actually, so it should be the 10th when I have this uploaded. And I recorded it right before I went to bed, so it was probably like 3 in the morning when I did this. I was thinking on speeding it up, but I've been doing a lot of speed up stuff with my Sims 3 videos, so I think with this we're just gonna watch the very first hour and a half of me playing. I wasn't sure what I was doing. I just felt like recording, and I wasn't sure if I was even gonna do anything with it, but I felt I might as well because I actually recorded and I have some footage, and I figure that some people out there might find it interesting to see the first time playing of a game. I mean, this is technically blind, of course, but I don't know. It's quite fun. To me, this is one of the games that I feel so there's three different categories of games to me. There's the games that I want to play but don't really care to watch. There's the games that I want to watch but don't really want to play. And then there's the type of games where I want to watch and play. And I feel like this is one of the games that it's a little weird because it's kind of in the field of want to play and watch, but it's actually more on the side of I'd rather just watch people play this game. Especially like I've been watching a few like tours of the city. One of my favorite Let's Players, like I went back to watch some of the tours he did of his own cities that he was working on, and because I didn't watch it back then, I wasn't interested in the game all that much when it first came out. I think in those days I think I got really into the RPG side. Because for the longest time I was a huge fan of the RPG stuff. I still am. But now I'm interested in pretty much all types of games. I think I pretty much like all games except for like sports games. I think sports is pretty much the only ones I'm not all that interested in. And even then, there are a few sports games I still like. In fact, I believe I don't really consider it as such, but I believe that the Tony Hawk series is technically considered sports games, like extreme sports. So I guess I kind of do like sports games. I will be playing the Tony Hawk games on my channel eventually, but let's talk about this game since that's what we're watching. The water stuff. I was learning that I don't have to put the water tanks like throughout like underneath the whole road. You can kind of like see, you can just go up a little bit and it kind of covers a little more of the area. And I didn't really need it for all this stuff. As you see, I don't go all the way up. I had to watch a tutorial on this. I was basically looking at how to do things, just the very bare minimum, because it seemed different, and it's not that different from SimCity 4. One of the things that bothered me is if I remember playing that game, and you can place down items and it'll put a road out in front of you, and that's what I was looking forward to. I wanted to place something down and then connect a road to it, but you had to have a road right outside immediately, so that to me was quite annoying. And with this, I don't realize there's a different fill types that is not just the fill bucket, basically. I do realize it eventually, but at this point, I did not notice that. But yeah, I don't know what I was doing all the times I tried playing it before, but it failed. I just know that I had figured it out almost right away. I thought it wasn't until later. And so yeah, I'm not sure what I was. I'm not sure what I tried all the years before that could have garnered almost 17 hours. I just know that last night I played it for about an hour and a half, and that was like the first time I actually sat down and got anywhere. So yeah, it turned out interesting. I am a huge fan of like the grid pattern, because that's how my town is created. And everything, you know where everything's at, especially if you lived here for like 20 years like I have. So yeah, I really enjoy the grid pattern. And doing it the grid way is actually quite helpful, because you can because that's like what this game is. As you can see, everything snaps to a grid. One of the things that the tutorial talked about, I believe there was, so one of the things, I didn't finish that thought, did I? So the tutorials I was looking for, one thing I noticed was everybody was like telling you like what to do or how to do it, and I was like, I don't want to see how other people play. I'll watch an LP. I want to just see the bare minimum basics of what I need to do, because I'll make the roads my own way. I don't care about efficiency. I care more about fun and just making things work, quite possibly in an inefficient way, maybe, or maybe I'm doing it properly. Who cares? I don't. It's a video game, so while my logical side might have some fun with making things efficient, overall it's a video game, so I don't need to bother. So I finally found a tutorial that wasn't overly preachy of how to play. It was just the basics of, like, they showed the water tower. You get the guy got the water tower instead of getting like the main water pump thing, and just started out with basics of like the dirt road. And after like 2 or 3 minutes of watching it, I don't remember who it was, but after about 2 or 3 minutes, I was like, okay, I get the basics, and that's all I needed was the very bare minimum basics of how to get the water. Everything else I already knew, because I was watching, I watched one of my favorite Let's Players play this, so watching them play, I was able to garner enough information on what to do, like with the waste disposal thing and making sure you have it in the proper spot. And electricity is cool because I don't even need those power lines, I don't think, at this, well, maybe at this point I do, because not enough of the businesses are there on the little road, or there's not enough industrial either. I think I was actually able to do better in this than I do in SimCity 4, but to be quite honest, it takes a while before with my SimCity 4 Let's Play, what was going on was I would play the game, I would play like a little city I made or whatever until things went to shit, because it always did. And in the next video I would start off with a new area. That's basically what I was doing. And I tried playing it again. I was thinking on restarting that LP. But it there didn't seem to be a way to fix it. And this game seems better at telling you, giving you the information you need to know. It's just like, hey, here's the information, do with it what you will. Whereas SimCity 4 just like figure it out yourself. And I'm like, this is a video game, this isn't real life. I mean, I probably could take the stuff I learned from this game and go back to SimCity 4 and do things properly, but I'm not gonna bother. I also noticed with when you place down the roads, it plays like little grids 4 out on each side. So I'm trying to do that efficiently here, or I have been the whole video so far, and I do that for the whole video in general. But yeah, it's quite a lot of fun to get all the areas filled up as best as possible. Yeah, but there's a few parts where it gets a little in this video that things get a little bit different, difficult, but I do manage to actually get out of it, and that's something I never was able to do with SimCity 4. So I feel like this game is made better. There was a very slight difficulty curve in figuring out how to do this game. But once you learn it, it's pretty much the same as SimCity 4 and easier to maintain, if you know what I mean by that. So yeah, this game is, it struck the perfect balance between challenging and fun. Or rather, I should say, nothing's perfect. So it came closer to that than pretty much any other city building game I've played so far. By the end of this video, I was confident enough with a lot of the basic stuff, but I have not done any of the fancy like highway stuff. I haven't made any curved roads yet, except for, I mean, it's not a curved road, it's just a diagonal road. I haven't done any of the weird curvy roads yet. I haven't done any of the fancy stuff, because I'm not sure how to do it properly. I did not buy another chunk of land yet. I think I probably will do that, and then I'll experiment with that as I was experimenting with this. And I probably should have mentioned this before, but I actually have the sound off in the game, so it's not just the recording being bad. I just I probably mentioned this in one of my other videos somewhere, but I don't like most games that have music in it. I don't like the music they have in it. So I usually turn it off and listen to my own thing. I didn't do that last night because I was recording. And I don't think I'm gonna add any music to this because it would feel off. I think it might not work. Maybe we'll. I just don't want any of that generic like guitar stuff that sounds like it's for like some kind of Viagra pill ad or something. Yeah, I like how everything's set up so far. You have the you have the business, like all the business stuff, as soon as you enter the town, and slowly the businesses will like peter out. Man, that's a weird word. What's a better word to use than that? It will start to slowly fade out of businesses and go into residents. I wasn't thinking of my town when doing this because it wouldn't have worked. My town was once so the highway once went in through our town, Highway 101 in California, and then they did the bypass around it, that whole thing. There's actually a lot of towns that happen to here in Northern California, pretty much all of them. And so, like most of the things on that road that once was a highway, but now is just downtown road, pretty much everything on that road is business. But it wouldn't work here because on the other end is like water. So I can't just turn this into a highway. And besides, it was the other way around. It was a highway that became a road. And once again, you can't just place a park wherever you want. I found that annoying. I finally find a place eventually, but that's probably at the hour and 10-minute mark or something. Or a little bit before, possibly. And filling up the water is quite nice. Eventually, I figure out what I said earlier, that you don't really need the power lines if you have other buildings. Probably not yet though, because you can tell that the businesses are still not really plentiful yet. The industry is, so I probably could have taken out all the power lines from the industry area. And there's not huge demand for anything right now in the game, as you can see. But the biggest demand is industry, so I figured I'd make a little bit more over here. And gotta find the best. I think I just went as far as possible over there. The guy did, in the tutorial I watched, the guy did say that it's better to have industry by the highway coming in. And I'm like, shut up, I'll do things my own way. But one of the tips when loading into the game did say the same thing. So I figured I'd just go with that and see how it went. I mean, generally speaking, it does seem like they do go to the highway a lot, and the ones that don't are usually the ones that are for the trash. Eventually I need to get another trash a recycling place, not because I ran out of room, but because I ran out of trucks, because there's only like 15 trucks for each recycling center or whatever, and there wasn't enough to reach the ones furthest out to that direction. So yeah, I had to get a second one eventually, and eventually when we'll see in about half an hour, we don't have enough waste management or something. There's a lot more waste production over what we're able to get rid of. Yeah, that little bit of the road there really bothered me, but you can't have it any other way, sadly. Otherwise, you don't get that last row. Kind of silly, but oh well. Um, and eventually, we make enough money here that I will actually be able to finally buy a water pump. And we'll actually upgrade the roads, which I believe the road upgrading is... it's not... I think it's before the hour mark. But I don't think it's much before the hour mark. Yeah. Not sure why there's always, like, weird smog in these maps, or the fog. Because whenever I watch the person play this game, I think there's only one or two I watch, it always looks sunny, and there's like no weather effects. I don't think I have like any I didn't turn the time and day thing on, the time system. And I don't know if there's a weather button. Maybe I'll look. I think this is when I start realizing I might not need the power lines. Oh, and we're starting to use more electricity, that's right. That's another thing. We start using more than the two that we have, and I realize that I'm gonna have to find a different source of power. So, yeah, that one was fun. I think it's amusing how small everything looks until you try to zoom in. It kind of sucks that you can't zoom in on a street level. You can only like go so far. I've seen some people zoom in pretty far into the game, but I've sadly not been able to. I tried a few times in this video, like following people, but you still don't zoom in all that far. So yeah, that's kind of annoying. And here I start like trying to see, yeah, we have a decent amount of money, so I start seeing if we can get anything. I don't think I get anything quite yet. We eventually get all this stuff. I mean, it's all the basics. One thing I don't like is if you like try to get rid of a road, you actually get money back. But if you try to get rid of a building, I don't think you get anything back. Like, you probably shouldn't get anything back from the road either. But it's a bit of an inconsistency. Like, you should get something back from everything, because you can recycle all the stuff. So, yeah, that's a bit annoying. Oh yeah, this is one of the things I hate, is having to place down a road. I don't even know if it works well, but I knew I wanted the school over in that general direction. So yeah, it's bad I did it. Man, I played for a lot longer than this. I thought this was close to when I finished playing. Alright, well, yep, we got the high school, and it needs water. And electricity should work eventually. This is where I was going to put one of those things there, but then I started to realize that I probably didn't need that, and so I decided to zone everything and let houses build electricity towards it, so to speak. And then that got me thinking, well, do I need all these power lines? You don't need them. Anyway, I think I destroy one of the power lines just to test it and see if anything, if it messes everything up or not. I'm not sure when that happens, but it's pretty soon. I used to get all the wind, like, turbine, like, fan things, or whatever you want to call them. And I would just get rows of that because it was, like, you know, clean power, but you would need tons and tons of them. And in the end, it's just not as good as having the good old coal power. And as you can see, I start taking some of them out, and it's all fine. I think you can do that with SimCity 4, but I wasn't sure if it was in this game or not also. You don't need any of these power lines right now. All the power lines I have are not needed. I don't delete all of them yet, but I do eventually. Elder care, I believe. That's what I chose. I wasn't paying attention. But it's hovered over there, so I'm going to assume. I make a road down from that one area where that leads over to the high school. And that's where the healthcare stuff will be. And if I was going to be more logical about it, I probably should take the other healthcare unit and place it over there as well. Because I eventually put the child care right next to the elderly care. I was going to be like a douche. I was going to put... so I didn't do the child care for a while, and so I was gonna place the cemetery somewhere, and I was thinking of placing it right next to the elderly care. I didn't. But I did have the thoughts for a fair bit of time before I finally eventually put the cemetery off near the waters for a nice final resting spot kind of thing. But yeah, for a while that's what I was thinking on. I have no idea what industry is. Every time I think of industry, I think of like steel working or like the boring stuff. The things that make all the things that we buy from businesses, I guess. If I remember right, this game does not have farming. Whereas SimCity 4 does. That's one thing I would like to have. I don't know if this would be a farming village, but I would put a farm like just right outside. Like I would buy another area that you can buy, and I would put a farm in one of those areas. Because in California, there's a lot of farms up north. There's like, I don't remember what they call it. It's like the central area of California. Central from north to south, and central from east to west. And it's just nothing but farmland. I'm more on the western side of California. And There's farms over here as well. There's farms pretty much every part of Northern California. Even outside of Sacramento, there's some farmland. Might be some inside of Sacramento, I'm not sure. I haven't visited every part of Sacramento yet. I was gonna say I've only been there a few times, but I've been there many times, but usually going to like the same general location. Mostly going to like Old Town, because it's a fun place to go to. There's a really nice candy store in the old Sacramento area where since we were kids, my parents would take us there, my sister and I. Fun times. I went there recently with my mom and didn't have as much fun going there this time around. Might partially been due to the fact that at that point I had gained a lot of weight and I had no good pants to wear. And the only pants I had were too big and the zipper was malfunctioning. So I had to keep holding on to my pants and constantly worried that my zipper was gonna bust and my junk was gonna bust out for all to enjoy. There was one fudge store in Old Town, but I don't know if it's still there. My mom and I didn't bother looking too much there. Once we were there, neither of us wanted to stay there for long. I was trying to figure out what that was, but right at this moment, I realized that the camera had a weird rotation. That the invert was not right. But sadly, they only have the ability to invert the Y mouse and not the X. If that's a mod, please let me know, because I could not do that properly. As you can see, I turn all the music off, but I'm probably going to turn that back on if I do more recording. I looked at everything, so but I didn't notice if there was any weather effects, so if there is, I'll probably turn that off. But yeah, it is a gas station. That's my main thought, was is that really a gas station right at the entrance of the city? Because that would be amazing. But yeah, it's a gas station. I hear that following these cars is a fun thing to do, but whenever I watch other people play this game and they follow the cars, it feels like they're able to zoom in much further. Maybe it's a mod. I was not able to. I think this is as far as I was able to zoom in. I wanted to follow that meat truck there, the hot dog thing. But you weren't able to. It's yeah, this is as far as you can zoom. Like I said, I remember people being able to zoom in further than that, but maybe not. This is, what? I think, is this when I start to, I think this is when I start to try and, I figure we have a decent amount of money, so I believe this is where I try to upgrade the road. I'm trying to find, like, I knew there was an upgrade tool, I just didn't know where it was at. So I figured I just had to place it down maybe. But nope, you can just upgrade it. Costs like 200 per section. So we just go through all the little tools here and you can find it all the way at the end. And we go from dirt road to proper road. I go between this 2-lane highway and in the industrial area, and then once we get into the business area, I actually start using 2-lane that also has sidewalks, so people can, like, you know, have a place to walk. It sadly gives up the ability to park anywhere, which is annoying. But at least we have a sidewalk that people can walk on. I don't think parking actually even matters. There comes a point when we can't replace it, and that's because we placed an object too close to where the road is. So you'll see that. I mean, you probably already can guess because I think there's only one object you can place too close to the road. Because it's more free-form than all the other stuff. And buildings snap to a grid. But that we can't because of the water tower. Yes. And the same with that one. So I am able to upgrade everything but that. I mean, I guess I can move it, because I do know that you can move stuff like this. Or that. Stuff like that. And I very much will if I continue with this map. I was mostly playing just for fun. But maybe I'll do that and come back later when I've done a lot more on this, and then I can show off what else I've done. Or I can just do straight up let's play of it, so to speak. I already have so much stuff I'm doing right now, so I don't know if I'm going to do this one or not, but this feels like a type of game I would play late at night anyways, and I don't want to constantly do post commentary like this one. So if I do more videos on this, I probably would just do quick update videos that have no commentary. Too bad there's not a upgrade all roads, but I'm okay with that. We got everything we can, so that's quite nice. Whole map is good. Yep, and I think if I haven't misremembered, the by adding all the good roads, I believe that also added a high spike in residential, like people wanting more residents. So, yeah, we're gonna have a lot to add here. Which is quite nice. It looks like they also want a little bit more commercial stuff. I don't know if I actually do that or not. Can't remember. Yeah, trying to figure out the road over here was a bit annoying, hoping it worked out alright. But like I said, I wanted to... Oh yeah, this is fun. Oh, I didn't do that yet, okay. That's a little bit later. I don't have enough money for that yet. But as you've noticed, I did set it up, and that is that little bit of road up in that area is actually where we're going to be putting the cemetery. Now I just have to speed it up so I can get more money, because we're actually getting quite a decent amount right now. What is that, like, I think we're getting 2,000 right now. As you can see, we need, well, I thought it was 10. Looks like we only need 8,000 to get it. There we go, now we can get it. And of course we're going to need water and then electricity, but I didn't want to use power lines, so we have a road to go up here. Off by just one, it's great. So it's a slight weird curve. I believe I might have missed it, but I believe I needed to do that because it said there was like someone died or something. But eventually we will see stuff like that pop up soon. Yeah, so pretty soon we're gonna get to one of the, there's two times that problems happen in this, and we're gonna see one of them relatively soon. Yep, almost right away houses just pop up, and then they go away on this one side. I'm not sure why. They just disappeared. that isn't the problem, obviously. Wasn't sure what went on, but somehow it just randomly unzoned itself. I don't know how or why. But there we go. Got the houses back. I'm still like trying to figure out what the hell happened here. So I want to like unzone it or something. And realize that it wasn't even, it somehow unzoned itself. Very weird. But houses rebuild itself. And that's great. And I was clicking through, looking for something, so I clicked through that, so I don't know what it said. But it doesn't matter, I never really read any of that stuff anyway. So most of the problems I had were probably in the after hour mark, okay? And we have the child health care. So I, of course, place it right next to the elder care. We'll be getting rid of the business next to it. Gotta make sure I'm not accidentally getting rid of it. So there we are. Business there probably is pissed off about that, but oh well. Don't know if we needed the road at least that far, but might as well. And if the business wants to, it can go over to that little section. Yeah, we have enough residential now. Now we need more, like business stuff and more industry. So we're gonna put some business right here. So one of the problems I had, quite minor, but I thought something was on fire, but later found out it just, I eventually hovered over it because I thought it was just a flame, but I hovered over it later on and it was actually a lot of the industry, nobody was working there and it needed more people, so that's what it ended up being. But yeah, this is the moment where I finally placed the park. I believe this is the thing where I said that I was gonna do it around the hour mark, and it's like literally right before it. I believe it was about the park I said that for. But yeah, there's the park. And it made everybody happy. Now it's time to place the road. I'm going to surround it completely by road. It's not perfectly on the grid. Got to move that up a bit more. can't make it one little small thing, so I make it up to the next grid. Or the, I don't know, it's this whole thing's like so weird. Not everything is lined up completely properly like I was hoping for. But it's relatively pretty good, so that's all that matters. And I have those slots, those roads out there for when we expand that way. When does some of the problems begin? I think it begins because we have we're using too much electricity, I believe. I believe that, well, that's one of the problems. We'll see that one later. Time to make some more buildings, some more houses. Wow, most of the problems happen really close to end. So yeah, there was one problem, first of all. Oh yeah, this whole thing, I was trying to figure out how to do the beachfront property, but I figure that's just me putting a road down there, I suppose. Or lakeside property. I guess that might be a lake. I remember having the problems. I don't quite remember what the first one was. The second one was a little bit more interesting. But yeah, it's time to, we need mostly industry right now. So that's what we're gonna do. I probably shouldn't bring it out this far. But whatever. Yeah, we got that, and they want the same amount of all this stuff now. Oh, it went slightly down. Now there's more. I don't think you can ever get like, I don't think it ever gets to like none. Like, they're always going to be wanting something. Finish that off. There we go. Really close to the end. Alright, and here we go with naming this after one of my favorite Let's Players who I watched the this game mostly from. And there's where the problems start. That one is a fire, but I thought there was a bunch of other fires going on. Or actually, I don't even think it was a fire. I think I was looking at the smoke, and I'm just like, how do I send firemen there? So I decided to add a bunch of different fire stations around that I don't need to. And then I start seeing all this. This is just workers not there, basically. As you can see, our resident is high up there. So this was the first thing going on, and I just thought it meant there was a fire going on and fire people weren't doing their jobs. But it wasn't, as you can see, not enough workers. Probably should have just clicked on it in the first place. So then I'm just like, what's going on? Don't we have enough residents? And then you can see kind of in the corner over there in the top right, there's actually a lot of I didn't really focus on it because I wasn't really looking at it. So I was like, okay, I'll just make more residents. But as you can tell, a lot of those people over there don't have any electricity. So that's when I realized that we don't have, that I need to worry about electrical stuff. And so we'll worry about that pretty soon. I believe adding that got rid of electricity for a lot of people over to the right of the screen, which I'm not looking at all. And there we can get a really good fire station. Because I figure that that's what we need. Or I figured that it would be nice just to have a really big one, and then I can get rid of the others. I wasn't sure if we would get money back for this, but you don't. At least I don't. Yeah, I didn't notice anything. So I got rid of all the 3 I had, and then I think I placed the big fire station down. I might do that later then if I did it. Honestly can't remember. This is where things get a little bit interesting though, or a lot interesting. Or well, I mean, it's been interesting the whole time for me. So this is more exciting, I guess. But I prefer it when it's not like this. But yeah, focus on that quite a lot. Our fire safety is doing quite well. I do get the big one. And now it's even lower. And I can get rid of the other one. As you can see, there's a lot of abandoned houses. And across like the skulls, so that's that person. This is still actually a part of the first problem. I was focusing on me thinking there was a fire, but there wasn't, so there's not enough electricity. And I start thinking that getting oil power is the best option right now. Sadly, you don't get money back for buildings, but you know, whatever. So I actually wait. I wait until to delete them, basically. We need, what was that, 50,000? Can't see the screen very well from here. While I was waiting, I was trying to see if there was a way where I could just sell it. I really think you should get some money back. The second problem might have been caused due to the first. The second problem is very minor in comparison. So yeah, I thought it was the second one that had 2 stages, but nope, it's the first problem that had 2 stages. So all I do is wait to get enough money to get better power, because I decided to go with, oil, obviously. I would need to buy like almost 4 to get the amount that you would get from one oil. And it's the same pollution amount, except for I would be having I would have 4 coal power plants, and I only need 1 oil. And then there's the cost difference. You'd spend tons of money. I mean, you probably could get away with 3, but I believe the coal was it 29 or 19? 19. So that's about 20. You need 60. It'd cost like 80,000 if you did get 4. So that would be, I think you need 50,000 for the oil, and yeah, this one it's much better to get it this way. Yeah, 120, and I think coal is 40, so 40. Oh, so yeah, you would only need 3, not 4. Still quite expensive. You're saving 10,000, and you're saving a lot of pollution, because you're going to get the same amount of pollution for both of them. But as you can see, the electricity is good. The abandoned buildings are the 3rd phase of the first problem, and eventually that goes away. And then a new problem arises, a completely different problem, but we'll see that kind of shortly after all the abandoned buildings go unabandoned and people start filing in them. This is where I actually finally get rid of the rest of these. So that's quite amusing. I think you get money back for them, which I don't. Yeah, you do a little bit. That's kind of silly. You should get money back for buildings, if anything. Probably a lot of cool stuff in the buildings. A lot of equipment you could sell. Few abandoned buildings still. I think there's 3 now. Well, 1. I think there was 1 at the end of the one road that ends off near the lake. I think there was 1 down there. Well, yeah, we have no problems. I do raise the taxes to 10% for everything, just to get a little tad bit more money. I think 10% is a good amount. I don't think I'll definitely never go lower than 10%, and I probably won't go higher. I'm definitely not going higher than 12. I think 12 would be the most I would ever do. Not enough customers, but pretty soon there should be. I think I actually build some more residential right now, which is kind of amusing because it's industry that we need. But for some reason I thought I went with this, I guess. It's kind of amusing. Either way, we now have tons of residential. I think as soon as I was placing that down, like, you saw a little pause where I was like, oh, that was for industry. So, once again, time to make some more industry and some more business. So I'm gonna, I don't know if I do it here, but I'm gonna eventually have to make some, I make a little business loop down over in this area. I go that far. I think the road that was like the area right in front of it, I was gonna use for industry. I was gonna have like a little road back there, but I don't know if I should or not. And we have a lot of places to put water now. Yes, there we go with the water pump, because we were starting to use more water than we had, finally. So water is now good. And I finally understand what the power lines are good for. While looking at this, I got an idea of a road over in that area, so I'm probably gonna do this. This is where I do this part. I actually count the slots here because I don't want to make another road over here. So I count how much there is, and it's about 10. So I count another 10 from the other road. And yeah, we make it. And there we go. We get one last problem. It's a bit minor. I mean, it's all over the place here. But yeah, this is the last problem I got. Really simple. We're a big town. So that one is easily rectified. Get it? And we just get another one of these. I wanted to see how much I was using. I quickly find out. You just have to click on that and you'll find it out. And we're using, producing, what was that, 132,000. And the capacity is only for 120. I believe that's what I'm seeing, or is it 128? Either way, we're over just by a little bit. So yeah, we just need one more. And I place it properly right next to the other one, but it connects to the pipe itself. So that's pretty cool. As you can see, it connects right on the pipe. It's amazing. And that is a really sickly brown. Glad we don't really get to see it that much from here. I was seeing if it really connected or not, but it did. It actually did. So that's really good. That is some great coding right there. And this is pretty much where I finally just was like, I probably should go to bed. And it was like 4 in the morning. But yes, we still have a few abandoned houses. We need tons of industries, so when I return to this map, it'll quite possibly be to add a lot of industry right over in this area. I have an idea for a road that I think would be pretty cool to do. Anyways, those are all the other times I tried playing but never got anywhere. So, yeah, first hour playing. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Love you all, peace you, and as always, stay safe.